For as long as humans have gazed at the night sky, the moon has been a mystery and a muse. We told stories of gods and spirits, of rabbits and lovers, of journeys beyond Earth. But in the 20th century, the moon became more than a symbol. It became a destination. And in 1969, humanity set foot on another world for the very first time. This is the story of the first moon landing. For centuries, the moon was untouchable. Writers like Jules Verne imagined voyages to its surface. Scientists wondered what it was made of, rock, dust, or something else. But only with the invention of rockets in the 20th century did the impossible begin to look possible. The space race between the United States and the Soviet Union made the moon not just a dream, but a goal. In 1961, U.S. President John F. Kennedy announced a daring challenge: land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the decade was out. It was bold. At the time, no human had even orbited the Earth for more than a few hours, but engineers, scientists, and astronauts accepted the challenge. The program was called Apollo. Throughout the 1960s, the United States tested rockets, spacecraft, and landing systems. Apollo 1 ended in tragedy when a fire killed 3 astronauts on the launch pad, but setbacks only fueled determination. Apollo 8 became the first crewed mission to orbit the moon in 1968, showing the world Earth's fragile beauty from space. And then came Apollo 11. On July 16, 1969, the Saturn V rocket thundered into the sky from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Aboard were 3 astronauts: Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. The world watched as they traveled 384,000 kilometers across the void to the moon. On July 20, 1969, the lunar module, nicknamed the Eagle, separated from the command module and descended. Alarms blared. Fuel ran dangerously low. The landing site was strewn with boulders, but Armstrong took manual control, guiding the craft down. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Relief swept through mission control, and history had been made. Hours later, Neil Armstrong descended the ladder. As his boot touched the powdery lunar surface, he spoke the words that echoed around the globe. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Buzz Aldrin joined him, describing the surface as magnificent desolation. Together, they planted a flag, collected samples, and left behind experiments that would continue to send data back to Earth. Over 600 million people watched live, making it the most witnessed moment in human history. For the first time, humanity saw its own kind walking on another world. It was not just an American achievement, it was a milestone for all of Earth. After 21 hours on the lunar surface, the astronauts blasted off to rejoin Michael Collins in orbit. On July 24th, they splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean. The challenge Kennedy had set had been met before the decade was over. The first moon landing changed everything. It proved that humanity could break free of Earth. It inspired generations of scientists, explorers, and dreamers. It gave us a new perspective on our planet, a small, fragile sphere in the vastness of space. The moon landing was not just a technical triumph, it was a moment of unity. For a brief time, borders and conflicts faded, and all of humanity looked up together. It showed us that when we aim high, we can achieve the impossible. The footprints left in the lunar dust remain today, silent witnesses to human courage and curiosity. This was the story of the very first moon landing. From myths to rockets, from Kennedy's challenge to Armstrong's step, it was the moment when humans became a spacefaring species. And like every beginning we uncover here at Enlightrix, it shows us that the greatest journeys start with daring dreams. Join us again as we explore another first, a discovery, an invention, a step that shaped the life you live today. Because to understand where we are, we must first return to the very beginning.